Well, that's a hard act to follow. Thanks for everyone for being here today. There's a lot of love at the treehouse right now. What can I say about my father? Let me start by telling you what you probably already know. He was a great dad. When I was young, he was always picking up a crowd of kids from school or taking everyone to batting cages or baseball practice. Even when my mom and dad had little, I never wanted for anything. But it wasn't just the overt stuff that made him a great father either. When I was 8 years old at Lake Martin in Alabama, my cousin Will and I took our two-person paddle boat named the Purple Passion, it was purple, out to a tiny island to camp for the night. We pitched a tent and ate candy bars for dinner.
You had toilet paper and canned goods.
We needed that. You never know. You gotta come supplied. We had toilet paper and canned goods. That's what my mom chimed in there. In the morning, we paddled back to my grandparents' lake house proud of our accomplishment. It wasn't until many, many years later that I found out my dad, with our dog Jethro, had taken the speedboat out to the island after dark and somehow managed to sleep overnight and get back home early in the morning without us knowing, just to make sure that we were safe. I know from talking to people, many people here, around my father before and after his passing, that he gave of himself both blatantly and under the radar, something that you would expect from a family member. And in many ways, I know that this crowd thought of Jim as a second dad, or at least a cool brother, uncle, or grandfather. And he was an incredible grandfather or papu in Greek, to his grandson James. Just a few months ago, Papu and Maggie flew out to Denver for the weekend to watch an hour's worth of T-ball. An hour! They flew to Denver. And Papu loved it, although he griped that the coaches could have done a little bit better. 5 and 6 years old. Yeah, you remember? I was like, relax, Dad. Come on. The coaches were 15-year-olds getting $8 an hour to stand out there and coach 5 and 6-year-olds, and my dad was complaining. Just relax. Just a few weeks ago, James was tubing behind a speedboat, catching toads, and building beaver dams with his papu. I'm so grateful that my son got to spend quality time with his papu. Personally, I'll miss my dad because he was my best friend. He was the best man at my wedding. He could be irreverent, witty, dry, and often funny when he wasn't trying to be. That happened a lot. He came with me on numerous cross-country road trips, and we would talk about life and future plans and anything and everything. We would get so wrapped up in conversation that we would forget to check the gas needle. Once, after running out of gas in Kansas, we were picked up by a state trooper at 1 in the morning, walking down I-70 towards the nearest exit. The trooper checked us for warrants, and then took us to the nearest gas station. Yeah, that was fortunate. We were both looking at each other. You never knew. We ran out of gas twice on that road trip in the U-Haul, twice. I always had good conversations with my dad, as I know many of you have had. I'll miss that. Everyone here surely knows that my dad saw more than his fair share of the back of a police car. Also, for a guy who never went to war, he sure was shot at a lot. A lot. was fearless, but also tough and hard-headed when he knew or thought he knew he was right. One of the most accurate and endearing tributes written of my dad was by Summer, a former longtime employee of the Treehouse. I can summarize what she wrote by saying, he was a hard ass with a heart of gold. It's pretty accurate. Also, what Mark Dodson wrote, Mark. I read that today and had a nice chuckle. Mark, over the years, would bring dates into the Treehouse, and my dad would come up to the table and say, your wife called and baby's crying. You single? That brings me to the Treehouse, my dad's gift to this neighborhood and Atlanta. It's an institution where people come for brunch on Sundays with their kids and dogs, years after they came for lobster night in their younger days. The people come back as a testament to the goodwill, good nature, and big laughs that my dad provided here. I'm so grateful for all the kindness and generosity of all the regulars for contributing to the Pig Pub's success and for helping us out today. I'm also grateful for all the past and present employees who work so hard to make the Treehouse the constant fulfillment of my dad's dream. Everyone knows my brother Nestor. Stand up. Stand up, Nestor. All right. Nestor's not his name. His name is Herman. My dad told him he needed to pick an alias when he was traveling back and forth across the borders before he became a U.S. citizen. Herman like Nestor, and so everybody, his name is Herman.
Scott's the only one that calls him.
He worked with my dad for 23 years. Wow. You may not know Juan. Well, I don't know where Juan is. Juan. Hi, Juan.
There he is.
22? Yes. 22 years, y'all, with my dad. Rosendo? Well, yeah, he's around. Yeah, he's working. 19 years next month. Ricardo, 19 years, and just, I mean, that's a testament. That's a testament to what's going on here. To everyone in the kitchen, in the front of the house, past and present, and in case my dad never told you, thank you. I thank you, and the neighborhood thanks you. To all my family members, my dad's college buddies, saw somebody up there, and Army and hunting buddies, from his Inman Park days and Peachtree Hill days, the folks from Harry A's, and to all the Treehouse patrons, friends, and staff, and to everyone who loved Jim. Let's raise a glass. And toast my dad to a life well lived. He rarely said goodbye to me. He always said adios. On the count of 3, I want everyone here to say adios with me. 1, 2, 3. Adios! Thank you, everybody.